Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. You are watching Sari Knits, my knitting podcast, and my name is Sari. If you are new here, I'm a knitwear designer from Finland, and this is my YouTube video podcast, video log, whatever you want to call it. Today I'm filming from Helsinki, and I'm gonna show you what I've been doing for the past week and what I didn't show you in the previous episode. So if you are new to my channel, I live in Vaasa, which is on the west coast of Finland, and we are currently trying to move the whole family to Helsinki. So I got a new job in Helsinki starting from January. So it's been 8 months now, and I work as a professional knitwear designer and in-house designer for a Finnish yarn brand called Novita. So at the moment I'm traveling back and forth to Helsinki. I always take a 5 a.m. train to Helsinki on Monday mornings, and then I go back on Thursdays. And of course it's really tough because my family is in Vaasa and I'm not at home for 3 nights every week, and being away from home is really hard, but we are currently trying to fix everything so that the whole family can come here in Helsinki, and let's see if we are moving here. That might happen very soon. So at the moment I'm in Helsinki, like I said, and it's Wednesday, so I'm going back home tomorrow and I'm really looking forward to it. And then on the following week I probably come back to Helsinki on Tuesday, because I will be flying to London on Friday, and I will be in London until Sunday evening. So I'm gonna be teaching at John Lewis & Partners in their Oxford Street flag store, and I will be having one class on Saturday for beginners, and then one class for advanced knitters on Sunday, and I'm quite excited about that. First of all, I'm quite excited about teaching, and secondly, it's my first time in London. I've never been to London, so I'm really excited, and I'm so glad that I can go already on Friday, and then I go back on Sunday evening. So the first idea was that I would be flying on Saturday morning and then come back on Sunday, and that would have left me really little time to do any sightseeing and visiting any yarn stores. So I'm glad that the flights didn't leave in, or the flight schedules were so that I would have had to wake up really early on Saturday to make it to my class. So I probably wouldn't have been my best at class, like really tired and stressed out. So I'm so glad I can go already on Friday. That leaves me a bit more time to see London and see some sights. What else is going on? So that was, I was talking about me going to London. So next week I won't be going home at all during the weekend, and that's, even though it's really great to go to London, but still I know I'm gonna miss my son and my husband. So yeah, but on the following week I will be having a few more days off so that I can make up for the time. What else was I going to talk about? Trying to remember what I talked in the previous episode. I had some things that I mentioned that I have left in Helsinki. So in the previous episode I mentioned that I usually take, not anymore, but in the beginning I took so much yarn with me every time I came down to Helsinki, like just in case I finish all these 3 pullovers, so I need to have a couple of extra skeins, or in case I break my needles I need to have some another project, and in case I get bored of everything I need to have something else, and if the inspiration strikes then I have to have some yarn with me. So I used to have like 1 bag for yarn and 1 bag for my clothes. Actually that's still the case, but I'm trying to quit that habit. So at the moment I have 2 yarn stashes, which sounds really great, but in reality it's usually so that whatever I need is always in the wrong place. So if I'm in Vaasa, I want to do something with the yarn that I have in Helsinki, or I forgot that project in Helsinki, or I don't have those needles, and there's no point for me to go and buy new ones because I have them already in Helsinki, or the other way around. So last week when I filmed the previous episode, I didn't have all the yarn and all the projects with me that I wanted to show. So today I'm gonna show you the rest of the whips, the works in process, and a couple of finished objects as well. Actually I don't have anything that you haven't seen yet, but there might be some new people watching this, so I will show you what I've been making. I'm actually going to have 2 new patterns coming out from me in the, or actually 3 new patterns in the following 2 weeks. So this week I'm gonna be releasing the pattern for, putting my coffee cup down, for the Deiá Socks, and I knitted these during our summer holiday. We went to Mallorca and I took this yarn with me. This is Hedgehog Fibres Sock and the colorway is called Hunter. And I had this weird obsession about, I think I saw somewhere on Pinterest or somewhere else, I saw a pair of like this shade of green like socks, and I just became obsessed with the idea that I must have green socks, and in this exact shade, and I started looking everywhere for a sock yarn that would be this bright emerald green shade of my imagination, my inspiration, and I finally found this is I bought the yarn in Helsinki. There's a yarn shop called Snurre, which is a great one, so if you are visiting Helsinki you should definitely visit Snurre. So I bought the yarn from there, and the socks are started from the toe, so they're toe up, and they have a short row heel, and there's like this lace and cable pattern on the socks. And today I'm gonna be, after I film this, I finish filming this, I'm gonna go outside and take some pattern photos, and then it's ready to be released. So today is Wednesday, I'm looking for a Friday pattern release, so it's ready for the weekend. So if you need some knitting for the weekend, then there's a new pattern coming out from me. These are really addictive to knit. The lace and cable patterns are like really addicting. I think I will use the same pattern for something else. Maybe a pullover, like front panel with this pattern. I think it would look really really nice. The two other patterns that are coming from me are Wayne pullover that I was wearing in the previous episode. So it's this one, and this is knitted with Studio Meez Superwash Merino DK, and this is a special colorway especially dyed for me. So I was looking for like an off-white yarn with like really minimal speckles, something like gray and bluish, and I couldn't find anything that like matched my idea. So somebody suggested to me that okay, you should reach out to a dyer, and I reached out to Caroline from Studio Meez because I absolutely love her style of dyeing yarn, and we started this little collaboration, and she dyed this yarn for me. The colorway is called, at the moment, it's called Sari. That's what it says on the label, and I really hope that Caroline will keep that name for the colorway, because I would love to have a yarn named after me. But I can see here better. So there are like these like really minimal speckles, blue and gray spots. And the inspiration for this pullover came from a TV series called Gotham, which is like the origins of the Batman story. So it tells the story of young Bruce Wayne, who eventually becomes Batman. And I really like the series. I think I mentioned in the previous episode that I like sci-fi and fantasy, and I also like Batman and stuff like that. So I was like really into that series, and young Bruce Wayne, the character, he wears like this really amazing pullovers throughout the series. And there was this like, especially this one pullover with cables and a turtleneck, and he wore two similar pullovers, like one black and one white throughout the series. And it's really great, and I got really inspired about that. And I wanted to make a dark gray and also a lighter pullover in the similar fashion. So last year I knitted, in the autumn, I knitted a dark gray pullover, and I named it Gotham, and it has like this turtleneck, and at the same time I started to knit this one. So they are like kind of like sister or brother pullovers, even though they are like nothing actually alike, except that they have drop shoulders and cables, but the inspiration came from the same source, and this is the Wayne pullover, and the Gotham pullover is the dark gray with the turtleneck. And I was actually planning to make a turtleneck for this one as well, but then at the same time I knitted the Gotham pullover, and I also made the Voyager pullover. So I started to feel like I'm making too many turtlenecks, so I changed the neckline. So it's this like it's knitted double, and then I've sewn it. So it's double on the inside, and this is one of my favorite pullovers to wear. But when I was making it, I was all the time thinking that, is this too boring? Is this too safe? I'm not just like reinventing the wheel, so I'm not bringing anything new to the table. So this is like really classic, basic pullover with like, okay, this has become undone, but it's like this rolled cuffs, and like I said, really classic. But I don't. Not everything always has to be like really inventive, and not everything has to be something new. I think it's okay to redo the classics and get inspired by classic stuff. And I know that this is going to get a lot of wear from me, so it's one of my favorite things that I have designed yet. What else? The third new pattern that is going to come out from me, I'm looking at September 15th for the release date, and this is still unblocked. It still has all the yarn ends unwoven because I just finished this last night, but ta-da! Can you see it? It's ready now. It's 2.5 meters long. So here we go. You can see how long it is. So this is the Quantum shawl, and here's the other side. So it's reversible. It's slightly different. So you can see on this side the triangles don't have a border, but on the other side they have like this border. But other than that, they're like really similar. Of course, the colors are reversed, as you can see here. The end ribbing is in pink, and on this side it's blue. But this is finally finished. I've been making this since December, or not this one specifically, but this pattern, and I started it with different colors, and I think on the first try I didn't like the shape of the triangles, so they weren't steep enough. They started like something like this, and I didn't like it, so I ripped it back. And the second time I think I cast it on the wrong amount of stitches or something like really stupid such as that, and I had to rip it back. And on the third try, after making 2 sets of triangles, I realized that the colors that I had chosen, they weren't very visible. Just a moment, I have the shawl here, so I'll just get it. Just a moment. So it's here. I can show how it looks like, so you can see it. So I'm back. So here it is. Okay, I remember that I had made 2 sets of triangles, but apparently I have only made like one full triangle and then a half a triangle. And here's the other side. And as you can see, you can't really see anything. And they should be 2 different sets of like 2 different colors of triangles, the same way as here, that there's always first the blue triangle and then the pink one, or actually first the pink one and then the blue one. But you can't see anything here, so it gets like really muted, like here. And it's like really weird because on the skeins I think they look really different. So the one is clearly lighter, and the other one is darker. And these yarns, they are from Lankakauppa Titityy. They had this like Titityy Feel yarn club with different dyers last summer, and this was from a Walk collection, and this is from Hedgehog Fibres. So they're both like potluck patterns that don't really have color names, so they're like only for the yarn club, special colors. But this is, I didn't like it, so then I reached out to Yama Fiber Arts, Madeline, and we discussed a little bit about colorways, and we landed on these 2 colors. So now the contrast is like visible, and you can actually see what's happening here. And I'm like super happy how this turned out. This is like kind of like really massive, and I'm really looking forward to wearing this. Is way too hot for this time of the year. So this is from Yama Fiber Arts. There are two colors. This color is Ferrocin, and this is Champagne Blush, and this is the Merino linen base. I think there was like 90% of Merino and 10% of linen. It was South African Merino, so it's mulesing free. And this pattern is coming out on 15th of September. So just super happy to finally be able to release this pattern, because it's been so long into making. Actually, the Wayne pullover as well, it's been in the making for 1 year. It was almost exactly 1 year ago that I sent the first message to Caroline at Studio Meez and asked if she wanted to collaborate with me on this colorway. So both of them have been for such a long time in making. But I think I will show you quickly two projects that I have on my needles. I'm actually knitting a commission at the moment that I can't show you, and I can't really tell you what it is, but that has been taking my time at the moment. And I should finish the Deiá Socks. They are also in the making, and I should finish the second melon sock. And the melon socks, I have written the pattern. It has already been test knitted, but I haven't been quick enough to knit my socks, so I can't release the pattern yet. But as soon as I have finished knitting the second sock, then the pattern is ready for release, so it's already been test knitted. And the Deiá Socks, I should write the pattern so that I can have it test knitted, because I'm looking for October 1st, release date for October 1st. But tomorrow I have 3.5 hours on the train when I'm going home, so I'm gonna use that for some pattern writing. So I talked about this project in the previous episode. I showed you some yarn that I was using for this. This is a new pullover that I'm making. I don't know if you remember, I showed you the Hour pullover in the previous episode. If you haven't seen it, then go and watch the previous episode, and you'll see the pink pullover that I made using Knitting for Olives, silk mohair and merino. And it was my kind of like mindless knit, but I made some notes while I was knitting, and it turned out so great that I immediately wanted to cast on a new one. And this time I'm going to be writing the pattern for the pullover. So this is the color that I'm using. This is the hem, but I'm just like put everything on this like smaller circular needle, because I didn't have a longer 3.5 millimeter circular needle here in Helsinki with me, but I have a longer 4.0 millimeters. So when I'm ready with the ripping, I will use a longer cable. And I'm using these two lovely yarns for this pullover. So these are from Wool Me Once, and she's a Finnish dyer who makes like really lovely yarns. You should definitely check her out. I will link her store below this video. She has like this amazing eye for color, and this is like kid silk mohair, and the other one is merino, and they're both colorway Aslan, so there's the same colorway for both of them. And it's like this absolutely gorgeous like coppery golden color, and just like really enjoy knitting this. And it's starting to look like this. There's just like this twisted ribbing here at the bottom at the moment. And the second thing that I've been knitting is here. I'm making white pullover. This is going to be something like really simple, and it's going to have a round yoke, but it's going to be just like white stockinette. So this is top down. This is the neck. It's gonna have slightly higher neck, but it's like this plain stockinette. So I want the neck to start rolling a bit, and then it's gonna be like rounded yoke and like really super simple pullover. And this like beautiful, it's like cream colored of white yarn. And it's actually, this is something that I was using for another project that you will be hearing more later this year, but I had some leftover. I think it's enough for this simple pullover. So stone wool Corriedale, and this is like Aran weight yarn, and hope this will knit up really quickly. And this is, I'm calling this Lumi at the moment. Lumi means snow in Finnish, so this Lumi pullover. So that's what I have on my needles here in Helsinki. Also the Deiá Socks, but I think they're in my handbag and I don't want to get up. Been knitting them on my way to work, so when I sit on the bus, and I have time to knit for something like 15 minutes before I go to work, so I can make a couple of rounds on my way to work and back. But I have some new yarn here. Oh, I have one more project, but this hasn't really grown at all since I last showed to you on Instagram. And the reason why it hasn't grown is that I was actually going to make this is the sleeve, and I was going to seam it, but then I started to think that okay, maybe I rather want to knit it in the round after all. So it's been waiting for me to decide what I want to do. It's going to have the slim cuffs and then like this oversized sleeves with this tiny speckle pattern. And I'm using, let's see where the yarn went, that's behind me. Juliet from Dererum Natura. This is the, I think colorway is called caramel. Yeah, caramel colorway. I bought this in Yarn Over Berlin last May when I visited them. And this is such a lovely yarn. This is actually my first time using Juliet, and I really like using it. And it's like this organic merino yarn, so it's also one reason why I really enjoy knitting with it. So I bought another skein. This is the Jeanette colorway, and love this color. So I'm gonna be making some hats, because for the longest time I was only making pullovers, and they take quite a long time for me to knit and write a pattern and grade and then have test knitted. So the kind of like turnaround time for a pullover takes half a year from the time that I start planning until the time that it's finally ready for publishing. So kind of my like Ravelry store has been a bit slow, and I want something that there's like something happening, like not every week but at least once a month, a new pattern, and that hasn't been happening during the summer. So that's why I've been knitting quite a lot of socks lately, and also now I think I will make some hats. So they're like these smaller projects that I can have out faster, and I don't have to make so many sizes, and the test knitting phase is not as long. And also even though if you have a small hat or a large hat, you probably end up using one skein of wool, or for like the largest size, if there's like a really long brim and a pom-pom and everything, it's like maximum of 2 skeins. So I think it's more inclusive also for test knitters, because there's like not like for the small sizes you only need like 3 or 4 skeins, but for the larger size you need 10 skeins. So with yarn that costs like 30 euros per skein, it's like really expensive to knit the larger sizes. So I kind of thought that it would be more inclusive for people, so that everybody can access my patterns to also make hats and socks and smaller items that are like more affordable. So that's why I decided to make some hats. So this is going to be one hat, and I also bought shelter. Just the second one. And this is the bird book colorway from Brooklyn Tweed Shelter, and it's a bird book here. It's like this really beautiful red with tiny speckles of not red. Looking at the red speckles, so I say a lovely shade of red, but lovely shade of green, like this dark forest green with like these speckles of red and yellow, and I think there's like turquoise or blue also here. So I'm gonna use this for a hat as well. And one more. This is my favorite color at the moment. As you can see, the second hour pullover is like in the same color family, and also like this one. So I'm like really into all these like burnt rusty colors, caramels, tobacco, like this is my new gray. I used to be all about the gray, but at the moment I'm like all about these shades. This is actually my first time ever knitting with La Bien-Aimée. I don't think I have ever used La Bien-Aimée for anything before, so it's super exciting. This is Merino DK, and also this colorway, just like this one. This one. This is also called Caramel, so you can see here. And as usual, I will write all the yarn names that I have mentioned and all the pattern names and so on below this video, so you can go and check it out. So you don't have to remember what I say, so you can just scroll below this video and see everything that I have mentioned in this video. But this is also going to become a hat, and I have this hat pattern that I released. It's one of my favorite patterns, as well as one of the first ones that I released. It's the beret pattern, the Salut Chérie pattern that I released 4 years ago or something like that. More than 4 years ago. I think it was before my son was born, so it might be 4.5 years ago already. And it's a free pattern that I have on Ravelry, but I was going to kind of like update the pattern and add a few variations to it, and also make it in like silk mohair, so it's a bit fussy. So that's something that I'm gonna be doing. And one more thing, I was thinking about hosting a new knit along, and don't know if you are interested, but because winter is coming, another reference to fancy books, sorry, I'm thinking about hosting a knit along for my iris hat. It's my most popular, most knitted hat pattern, and it's the one that started from the top and knitted top down, and I worked mine in Hedgehog Fibres Merino, held together with their Kid Silk lace. So I was thinking about making a new hat, and I was thinking about hosting a knit along for the Iris hat. So I would love to hear your thoughts if you're interested in knit along with me. But that's everything I have for today. This actually, I always at first I think, okay, I don't have anything to say, so there's like no point for me to film anything, and then I end up talking for way too long. I don't even know how long I've been talking here, but anyway, this is everything from me for today, and yeah, maybe next time I film I will be filming from London. Let's see. But bye for now, and thanks for watching my videos. If you enjoyed watching this, remember to subscribe to my channel, so you will always get notified when I post a new video. But that's everything. Bye.